Golly gee gosh godding god. I am so terrible at keeping. I wanna like just smash it out, just keep going and try to get ahead of it. But it's like, I think at this point we just accept it. We accept who we are, and that's fine. That's fine. I'm just gonna be behind by a lot, and it's like, just deal with that. Once I'm like over a year behind, though, it will be pretty crazy. But whatever, we're getting through it. We will eventually get there. That's the thing, you know. The whole point is that it doesn't matter. Mr. Villain's Day Off. I heard a handful of good things about this. Well, I heard some good things about this, but I don't know. It's kind of weird that they're full length episodes. It feels like the premise should have it be a short instead. So I don't know. It's kind of like "Tis Time for Torture Princess," where it's like, is the gimmick gonna allow them to get 12 full length episodes out of it? It doesn't sound like they could, but I mean, I have heard that some people like it. So maybe it'll be fine. I don't know. That's what this is. That's why I'm here, right? Let's find the fuck out. All right, this is gonna be a bit of a weird one, but I just got done with episode 7 or 6, one of those. For Mr. Villain's Day Off. It's not technically a drop. One that's not a finish or a fail. Kind of goes against the whole point of the series. I need to make a more definitive edition, I suppose. Addition? Decision. But like, here's the thing. This show, like, I don't want to drop it, but I also am just, it's kind of a mood thing. Like, maybe I should just drop it. But I think what's technically happening here is I'm going to put it on hold. Because I do actually want to finish this, but because I'm doing this as a series, and because we're now, like, a whole year behind, although, honestly, being a year behind doesn't even matter, because it's, like, it's cool. Like, I'm fine with that, because we can just we're just going to keep going through shit in order. If we catch up, we do. If we don't, we don't. And if I just keep falling behind forever, and eventually this series is, like, fucking 10 years behind current anime, I mean, whatever. I just like watching it and talking about it. The fact that I wait till shows are done anyway to talk about them kind of shows that I don't care about the relevancy of it too much. I just, so whatever. But I do need to get a move on. And the problem was I just kept not being in the mood for this show because it's like much laid back kind of thing. It's a bit of a specific mood. And so because of that, I'm going to like put it on hold and maybe just like every now and again I'll watch another episode and get the remaining like 5 or 6 I have left done at some point. So for now, I'm gonna put it on hold, but let's kind of go over it and why I didn't drop it, at least. So the show's about Mr. Villain, as the title says. It's just the bad guy. He's like in charge of the Demon Lord army, but he's on his day off at least most of the time. We see him. Sometimes we see him at work because it's just a gag comedy show, so there's like gags of him not doing his day off as well. He likes pandas. It's a pretty simple, cute show. He goes around enjoying his days off, usually involving shenanigans with him, with how much he likes pandas and buying like panda related merch and stuff. That's a lot of it. Dude just loves pandas. There's lots of little relatable moments as well, like running into a coworker on a day off, or going into a convenience store and you're being like, "Fuck, my favorite item! They stopped having it, and they have some other shit here. What the fuck is this? I'm gonna destroy the world now." You know, he gets the thing. I don't get to destroy the world. He gets to take out his anger on the world. When he gets back to work, surely, but it's very simple, very cute, and since it just kept being that, never really had a problem with it. Although, it's not always great. Not every gag lands. Some were boring. Some entire... I think there was like 1 or 2 where like half the episode was just boring shit. And anything to do with the Rangers and just the Rangers usually sucks total ass. They're like the good guys that are fighting the demon lord and all that, and so they're also characters, and you see them doing just casual, non-fighting the bad guy stuff as well. Um, but God, they're boring beyond belief. They're just so flat and uninteresting. And by episode 3, I was already like, you need to stop showing these fucking guys. They're so boring. I don't want to look at them. They suck. They actually suck so bad. I don't want to see them. So whatever. Um, there's a convenience store clerk girl who's really good. I like her, but then she like stops being in the show eventually. They haven't shown her in a while where I'm at, which kind of sucks because she was easily the best character. She was super cheerful. She started to get that evil guy here, even though he looks evil, he's like the kind of stuff he likes, and she starts to like get his taste and vibe. And she's voiced by Toyama now, doing a Toyama thing, so that's obviously big plus right there. The Pink Ranger is also pretty good. She's actually the one ranger that I never got annoyed with seeing on screen. I think it was blue one is always a piece of shit. Green one I only liked seeing the first time they showed up because they're these little shooters, and they were pretending to be real kids and being cutesy and stuff. Turns out it was faking it, and actually they're like really cynical and just say a bunch of rude stuff with a monotone, dead voice, and I'm like, oh, so they're not fun at all, and I hate them now. Red guy was hit or miss. That's why I'm saying like the Rangers ended up being pretty boring and taking away from it. Um, I guess it was episode 7 I watched because here in my notes I have that it was the end of episode 6 that did something. I do remember it, I just don't remember what episode this was in, so I had to check my notes for that. But episode 6, the end of episode 6, oh, so good. Critical damage to my heart. It's like about Tanabata, and this guy's like moving away from town on the day of Tanabata, so obviously there's the parallel there. Um, and she's the girl that he's with. His like friend is like, "Oh, I'll see you off," and he's like, "Don't, it'll be raining." And she's like, "Well, I'm not a Hime, so I'll see you off." Uh, and then the villain guy, when he finds out what Tanabata is and he goes to write his wish, he thinks about writing that he wants to destroy all of humanity, but instead he writes, "I hope those two can meet." And then as we get the reveal that he wrote that, it has a shot of the two of them getting to meet and her saying goodbye to him, and I was just like, oh, oh my god, you can't do this to me. That's so sweet. It's so sweet. That moment hit hard. And the show can be very funny. Probably one of the best moments was when the guy finds a gacha machine, a capsule machine, and it's got a bunch of panda merch in it, and he's like, "What the heck? A bunch of pandas trapped in small containers? Curse you humans! Does your evil know no bound?" And then he's like, "I'll free you all," and he starts putting in the corners, and he gets out every single capsule so that he can free all the pandas. He's like, "No panda left behind." It's fucking fantastic. That's like the best joke on the whole series, and that was in the most recent episode I finished. So it's still being good. It's just that it's such a specific vibe that I'm putting it on hold for now. So let's hit back to the wheel. To wheel, to wheel, to wheel, to wheel. Sorry about that. This is actually getting kind of small. I'm seeing how big these cheese chunks are getting now. But yeah, let's see what's next for me. Pray for good. The Witch and the Beast. Right. This one. I remember hearing about this because I knew and I'm pretty sure the manga's like really well liked. But I guess we'll see if the anime lives up to it. I did hear people talking about this one. Apparently there was some interest and hype behind this one, but not too much. I didn't see too much talk about it, but I definitely did hear about it. So, I don't know. We'll see. I have honestly minimal expectations in reality. What's up? There's a hum There's a humdinger. There's probably a hum in the background that's making it sound like I have terrible audio quality. It's just because the fans are on, multiple fans. There's a lot of cooling happening right now in my room because it's very hot in Australia, and I could turn them off to record this, but I don't want to, because it's way too hot. So you're just gonna have to deal with it. This is meant to be a bit more. This is casual vibes anyway. It's not like this is a fucking scripted thing. So I mean, look, I put effort into my work. Don't worry, but like, come on, I'm not. It's so you guys don't understand. It's so fucking hot in Australia. I'm not. I'm not turning the fans off, and you're just gonna have to live with that. Anyway, so Witch and the Beasts, is that what this fucking shit's called? I will finish. I don't know why I called it shit. I mean, it's not the worst thing ever made. I watched episode 1. I did finish episode 1, in fact, but I'm dropping it there. I have no desire to keep going with this. It's just not very interesting. It's pretty tame. The directing is just like not there for it. The directing is just like not good enough. It's kind of weird, right? Like something about it feels off. Sadly, I can't quite put it into words, but something about this fucking show feels really off. I don't know what it is, but it does. It's weird. It feels off. Like, everything about it as well. It's not... I said the directing, but honestly everything about it does. The action's incredibly weak and uninteresting. It never, like, really gripped me. I just kind of spent a lot of time listlessly watching it. And then the first episode ended, and I'm like, well... That kind of was nothing. That was kind of mid. It's kind of like the perfect definition of mid. It's, like, watchable if you, like, don't really give a shit about things being good and you just kind of watch things just for the sake of watching something. Yeah, you could watch this, but otherwise, I don't know, go read the manga. Apparently that's very beloved, so there you go. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. It also has this like weird allegory. It's like trying to say something about prejudice and like witches and the old witch trials. But, like, it doesn't make sense to, like, bring up prejudice because the characters are just proven right in the end that the witches are evil. It's like they spend the whole episode being told, well, this one's not, and then it's like, oh, she is. It's like, that doesn't make it interesting. That just makes it weird and just kind of destroys the whole thing. It's like, oh, okay, so prejudice is good now? I think that's what it's saying for some reason. Why am I talking like that? I don't know. It's also weird because it gets, like, weirdly sexual. Near the end, it just has a bunch of, like, fan service for some fucking reason, and it's, like, completely bad, not the right time for that. Like, time and place. I'm fine with fan service, but, like, it's all about the tone, you know? It's all about the tone. And here it just felt bad and off, and I didn't want it, because it's, like... a scene that's, like, the show's trying to be dark and serious and gritty and have all this stuff, right? But it's like, but then it's like, oh, here are these girls being used as a thing to cause a witch curse to happen. And they're getting their fucking, they got their arms and legs and shit cut off. But look at their fat titties, though. The show's like, but did you see the fat titties, though? Because they got fat titties. These chicks that are bleeding out and dying right now, they got fat titties. Please pay attention to them. It's just like the way the framing was, the way it was shot, it was like so obvious that you were meant to also kind of find it hot, even though it's a horrific moment. Again, you can make this work if that's kind of the whole point of the show. Recently I've been watching To Love Ru, and that has moments that are like, this would be fucked up if we were taking it seriously. But the whole point of that show is the debauchery and the comedy, and as Demolition D said, fucking pop a squat and flick your twat. But that's not what this show is. This show's trying to be serious and dark and gritty, and then it's like this serious moment that's meant to be like dark and depressing and horrific, but also, I mean, but we might as well fucking also make you be turned on by tits, right? Because I mean, we might as well. Like, it's just terrible. I'm gonna use the video essay word, ludonarrative dissonance. What's up, gamers? Welcome back to the motherfucking wheel. Um, let's spin this bad boy and see what we got next. Honestly, though, moment of reflection. There's actually a lot of good things left. We got a lot of the bad ones out of the way. Honestly, there's still some in here I'm either not. I think just unsure of. Yeah, everything left I'm either unsure of or I think / hope I will enjoy. Except for like maybe 2. There's like maybe 2 that I'm expecting. Maybe 3 that I'm expecting to still not enjoy. But again, could be proven totally wrong with that. Yeah. So like I said in earlier parts in this video, we're really far behind. But again, like I said back then, and I stand by it, I say that like it was a handful of minutes ago for you guys, but for me it was a while ago. I don't know. I just feel like I should address it, but we're so far behind, but it's not a big deal. We're just gonna keep going through old shit, and it's not a big deal. I don't think it doesn't have to matter, you know, because I just want to enjoy anime, so I don't care if it's the latest shit or if it's relevant anymore. I just want to watch everything, and so I'll just make my way through it, even if I'm behind. It's not the end of the world. I can live with that, and so I hope you still are able to enjoy this content, even though it's about much older anime at this point. You know, soon this stuff's gonna be like over a year old, so whatever. I don't know. Just felt like saying that, so let's just keep going. Let's find out what I will watch next. Hokkaido Gals? Yo, Hokkaido Gals are super adorable. Let's go. I'm actually so hyped for this one. I love Hokkaido. It's my favorite prefecture. It's where I plan to live eventually. Even though everyone thinks it's too cold. I love Hokkaido. And so a show about Hokkaido and gals in Hokkaido specifically. I've seen. No, I never saw any gals when I was in Hokkaido, but I saw girls that would just like wear, wear skirts and have their bare legs out because fashion over comfort. And I'm just like, damn. I was there in winter too. I was there in January. There was so much snow, and there's just chicks walking around with their bare legs out. And I'm like, damn. Fashion over comfort. That's some dedication to the craft. But yeah, I'm very, very excited for this. I'm glad we finally hit this. I hope I love it. I'm gonna be so sad if I don't love it. I'm really hoping I love this one. Ooh, this is exciting. Let's get into it. Alright, everybody. Today is a day for mourning. I come to you with very regrettable news. That news being that Hokkaido Gals are adorable. Is mid. Hokkaido Gals are mid adorable, more like it. No, the girls are very adorable. That's the one thing this show does fucking have right. And when I started it, the first thing I actually thought was, oops, all peak. It's all peak. They just put peak in this. First episode is fucking fantastic. Author clearly loves Hokkaido. He brings up a lot of stuff related to Hokkaido that are specific to it. They know the difference between like what's a Hokkaido thing and what's not. And they're clearly in love with it. And I love that too, because like I've said it before many times. I'll say it again. Hokkaido's my favorite prefecture. That's where I plan to eventually live. It's great. I fucking love Hokkaido. It's awesome. And Fuyuki, that's her name, right? Yeah, main girl, so fucking hot. It's actually insane. they do her so well. She's so awesome and cool and perfect. I love the way she talks and interacts with others. She's so casual and lighthearted and a little flirty. And I actually think she would be a great, almost a resource for someone. If someone's not good at talking to other people and being able to do that kind of chill, like if someone out there is really bad at interacting with people, especially people they like, this show could actually help you a lot if you just look at how like she talks and interacts with others. Like that's that kind of chill vibe that you need to reach almost, where like she never seems overly embarrassed about it. She's willing to just go out and just talk to someone and try and be friends with them. And it's like that's that mentality that so many people who are bad at interacting are missing. They're missing that like you can just talk to people. You can just go up and talk to people and ask them things and be like, yo, let's be friends, let's hang out, let's do this, let's do that. You can just do that. And if it, like, that's the thing that I think people who are bad at socializing really miss, is that realization of, like, just do it, kind of. I don't know. It's hard to explain, because I used to be bad at it, and then I kind of realized that thing, which is why I feel like this show kind of shows it off really well, and so it could help someone who was trying to figure that out. There's so many cheesecake fucking glamour shots of Fuyuki as well. They really do it well. Anytime she's on screen, it's like, oh, yes. So why am I saying the show's mid? Well, it's because main character's just a fucking milquetoast cherry boy we've all seen a bajillion times. He's so annoying. Easily the biggest issue with the show. He has some redeeming moments where he kind of responds like a little more positively and proactively, and is willing to call her cute and stuff that a normal milquetoast protagonist might not do as much. But he still freaks out way too often, and it's always annoying. And there's times when they don't even have Fuyuku in the show. It's just him just like doing shit, and it's like, this guy is so uninteresting. Just show me the hot girl. Just show me the hot girl. That's literally the thing you do the best. The animation quality in this show is ass. There's so many stills. It doesn't look great, except when Fuyuki's on screen. It's like, it's so obvious that everyone was given like, there was probably like one or two people who were like doing all the Fuyuku shots, like the close-ups of her face and shit, and they were like, just make her fucking so hot, do it perfectly, and they did. They nailed that shit. And then so everywhere else is like mid as fuck visually. It's crazy how much the quality goes higher anytime she's on screen. And it's like, yes, just show me her. I just want the Fuyuki show. I just want her being herself. And that's all I need. Why isn't she the protagonist? Instead, we got this fucker, and there's more girls showing up, and it's like, oh, okay, more girls for him to fuck her. Like, and then it's not Fuyuki on screen. I don't care about these other bitches. I don't care about the main guy. I don't want anyone. Give me the Hokkaido gals being super adorable, not this fuck. He's easily the biggest issue of the show. It's so bad. His freakouts are so massive. It's a real problem. Anyway. Sometimes he felt like he was getting better in episode 2, but he fucking wasn't. He wasn't. It's a goddamn lie. It's a goddamn trick. It's a goddamn scam. I have to sadly just drop this show. It's like, I tried. I really tried to push through, because Fuyuki's so perfect. But like, as the show kept going, I was just like, oh, it's not getting better. It's not getting any fucking better. It's just getting worse, or it's like staying the same. Like, it's just like, honestly, it got worse. It got worse as it went on, because there's even less Fuyuki as they introduce more girls, and it's just like, I don't want to be here. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad, because this is like Chobits. Chobits had a similar issue for me, where I love the main girl. I love a bunch of side aspects to the show, but the main character is just such a fuck that I can't watch it. Honestly, the main character in this isn't as bad as Chobits, but then Chobits had better visuals across the board, and also some better side characters, not just the one good girl. So like, not exactly the same, but it's a very similar situation where there's a bunch of aspects not even really a bunch. There's things I love about this show, and sadly, the main character being a fuck and other stuff just like brings it down so much that I am forced to drop it because I just can't. I can't. I tried. I tried to keep going. I tried to watch another episode just now, and I couldn't make it through. I couldn't even make it halfway before I'm just sitting there like, I want to click off and leave. And that's when you know. That's when you know it's time to drop a show, when you're like having to like force yourself that much and you really just are not having it. That's when you know you just gotta do. You just gotta go. You just gotta go. It's done. I'm sorry for your key. You're fucking perfect. You deserve to be in a better show than this. Ugh, what a tragedy.